by authors from Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. I'm grateful and very happy and proud to also acknowledge that the book that I co-authored with our well-known Dr. Avinash Kire is also one of them, one of those 81 books. And so with that brief introduction, we shall start our program. I warmly welcome all of you.
Social events, it is a great honor, albeit undeservedly, for me to be called upon here to say a few words to you all. We've gathered here today to celebrate 10 years of PenThrill Publication House. In these 10 years, because of Rita's generosity, I have been privileged to be part of a few PenThrill events, and in each of these, it has always brought me nothing but joy and inspiration to be able to witness a growing community of book lovers, happy to have been given the chance to express their love for the written word and their love for bound pages. My association with Rita also began 10 years ago. Of course, I have known her from before that, who hasn't? But by a happy chance in 2013, mutual friends introduced me to her just in time for me to have a front row seat to the historical beginnings of PenThrill Publication House. Today, in today's program, there are far better and more important people to say what this event means for storytellers and poets and academicians and for the literature and publishing scene in our state.
10 years ago, publishing was almost unheard of, and there were also very few authors from Nagaland that one could name. This, despite the fact that the oral tradition of Naga literature has been passed down from generations to generations. And although unwritten, it has been my firm belief that storytelling has always been at the heart of the Naga culture. PenThrill really came into existence in this context, even with all my inexperience with the world of publishing. I only knew that I loved books and took immense pleasure in writing, but that was enough to drive me towards an uncharted territory, even though I didn't know a thing about the business of publishing. But today, as I stand here, I can proudly say that PenThrill has a 10-year success story to share. It certainly wasn't without challenges. There were mistakes and failures. There were times I got tired of doing certain things over and over again. The seemingly insignificant things like being the driver, the laborer, the cleaner, the distributor, the proofreader, and playing several roles all at once. But because the end result is always books, I think I'm also learning to enjoy the entire process of bringing out a book. 10 years of publishing in Nagaland has been nothing short of magical. I have worked with more authors than I could ever have imagined. Along the way, some of them have become good friends, and some, although their works were published posthumously, it gave me a real sense of fulfillment of being able to preserve the memory of their works.
Born and raised in South Detroit.
What I have noticed about PenThrill is, first of all, if you have this, all of you need to open this and you need to look at each of the covers. Because PenThrill, apart from all the publishing type things they do, I think Rita has a very, very good aesthetic sense, as do her team. And I always tell everyone, if you're going to publish with PenThrill, it's like buy one, get one free. You will get free editing, which Rita will do. She so far has not started charging for that. Second is you get free design. They have really good, so all their book covers, each one is really a work of art. And I am aware in the publishing world that they have awards for book covers. And I really am confident that one day PenThrill also will start, being shortlisted for book cover prizes. Apart from that, with PenThrill, the way they work, it's a family affair, And I think for any budding entrepreneurs here in Nagaland or anywhere, if there is a lesson in entrepreneurship to be learned, I think PenThrill is a very, very good model to emulate. You always feel like you're part of the family, everyone knows each other. It's such a positive, affirmative space. So I think, by all these standards, PenThrill has really reached a great point of success in these 10 years. But over and above that, because I am a teacher and, I do literature, so I just wanted to, share what I think is one of the most important contributions of PenThrill and why we need to support PenThrill is Ngugi wa Thiong'o, he wrote a book called Moving the Center, and essentially he talks about the necessity of a cultural shift, because that is the answer to the cultural domination of the West. So he says, that instead of that one center in the West, is it possible for us to move centers and create multiple centers located within each of our cultures?
So we have come a long way since Gutenberg's publishing printing press. The book, which was the privy of the aristocrat, the privy of the clergy, was made accessible to everybody. It was made accessible to the rich and poor, the setting up of the library systems, all these things. And we are at the threshold of an era where we are beginning to see many new things, including climate change, where the sourcing of paper, the climate change associated with the paper industry, all these things are part of the whole thing. So today we see a bold and courageous Rita in the 21st century trying to start a small industry, a small publishing house. And overall, all over the world also, we see that the publishing houses are controlled by conglomerates. So we see that small publishing houses are struggling. I've never seen an occasion where the publisher pulls out all the family members and hand them so we know the source of financial also. We know the source of all those who have been supporting her also. Thank you for that. I was just struck by this, very nicely put. If you look at 2013 till 2023, you will see that she started very small. Then as you see 2023, you will see that she is publishing so much. So Rita, we all know is somebody who bites what she can chew. We all know her, the care she puts, the tenderness she puts in all her effort, the meticulousness she puts in everything. She is somebody who is not just out there to jump. I remember two of my very good friends, including Rita, and the other one is Dr. Lapisentla. She gave up her job, then she started the heritage, then we have Rita. So I was very proud because led by two of our women, we started What is Accent. Today we see that the cultural life, the aesthetic life of our society has been enriched by the creativity, by the amount of creativity which are being brought out through their, publishing houses. This adds to the cultural life of a people, a society, and They are responsible not just for publishing books, but they are also enriching everybody, including maturing our society. We know that 105 years ago we had our first matriculate. About 100 years, that is 1824, we had our first graduate. It's a very short period in the people's history, and especially for the people without written history. The idea of putting our thoughts, putting our creativity into our book, that has come much later. And we see that they have filled a gap which was much required. And today we are very proud because they are harbingers of many changes which are to come.
PenThrill Publication House, and I'd like to thank all those who have participated in various ways this evening, and also thank you to everyone who has taken the time to be with us here and to honor this program.
Thank you.